balloon
Hello
science has
everybody,
led to
welcome
many
back
important discoveries.
to a brand new live stream. Today we're going to be watching the solar eclipse live.
Confirming the Big Bang theory of an expanding universe. A special type of high-altitude balloon can carry telescopes above the clouds for extended periods of time to study the dark matter in distant galaxy clusters. One of these superpressure balloons, called Superbit, captured the Tarantula Nebula 160,000 light-years away. This winter, crews in Antarctica are preparing to launch the Gusto mission. Its infrared telescope will examine the complete life cycle of a star. NASA's scientific balloon program, guiding a path to discovery above and beyond.
This is cool, guys. We'll wait until it starts. Let's play some Roblox.
Joined with us now is the Balloon Museum manager, Nan Maslin. Thank you so much for joining us on probably the busiest week of the year.
I'm so happy to be here with you all.
NASA's
So
scientific balloon
the
program,
Fiesta started in the
guiding a
70s
path
with
to
a
discovery.
small group of people, and now there are hundreds of balloons. Can you tell us more about the event and what it means to the city?
Absolutely. Well, it started in 1972 by a pilot named Sid Cutter, who had the idea to get a few hot air balloons together. He managed to get 13 together in a small parking lot, and they expected a handful of people to show up, and hundreds did. And that's when he knew he was really on to something. And 51 years later, there's 100,000 people behind us on the field right now.
Oh my goodness. So the Balloon Museum, it's where you work and it's where we are right now. Could you tell us a little bit about the relationship between the Balloon Museum and the Fiesta itself?
Absolutely. We are very good neighbors. We are here 365 days of the year. We started in 2005, and we start with the early ballooning
It's
in
almost
the,
time,
the
boys.
1700s.
You can see the moon
up through
moving.
today, exploring the history, science, art, and just wonder of ballooning.
Oh my gosh.
And if you haven't been to Albuquerque, we invite you all to come back and check out this museum.
And what do you love most about the Fiesta and the museum this week?
Guys, bro, this
Mexico
is so
is
freaking
such an
crazy.
enchanting place to be. And the smell of roasting green chili in the air, there's nothing like it. There's a reason why Georgia O'Keeffe chose this place as her home. It's because of the open sky and the beautiful landscape, and we get to enjoy so much of that here. And when you think about it, there's like a spotlight shining on Albuquerque, and I think it's probably the best place in the whole wide world to be right now. Today, Balloon Fiesta and an annular eclipse. I can't imagine anything better.
And how do you feel about
There
an
we go,
annual
boys.
eclipse at the same time as the event this year?
It's just fantastic. I'm so happy to be here with you all, and Mother Nature has provided us the perfect sky today. Looking this direction, I don't see a single cloud. There's a bite out of the sun already, like it's bitten out of an apple. And I'm so excited to see the annularity.
Amazing. Thank you so much for
Did
being
I
with us
so
today. I'm really
excited, bro.
excited to
Shall we play
enjoy the
game
annual
for
eclipse.
44 minutes?
So next, we are honored to hear from NASA
That's
Administrator
capybara.
Bill Nelson.
Capybara.
Hey everybody, we're so excited that you're joining us today
Woo!
for this
Bill
solar eclipse.
Nelson!
It's when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun. It's a big day for NASA scientists because eclipses present unique opportunities to study the sun. And what we learn from these eclipses, along with our heliophysics research, has incredible benefits for our human exploration. The sun is a powerful, hot, glowing ball of hydrogen and helium, and it actually holds together the entire solar system. Without its energy, we couldn't exist here on Earth. Just think, it influences everything. What we do on Earth,
Okay, guys,
growing
I will
crops,
be right back.
our economics,
Ciao. I have to be right
it even
back.
affects our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. We see its
Okay.
influences reflected throughout our culture as well, in art, music, religion, sports. And when you look up today with your eclipse glasses, I hope you're going to remember all the ways that the sun
Wait, guys,
influences.
actually,
NASA will never stop studying our closest star for the benefit of all of us. terrestrial
abuela,
beings here
estoy diciendo
on
chao.
planet Earth.
Thank you, Administrator Nelson. So, Michael, we've been getting a lot of questions on social media. Shall we dive in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, I
I'll be
have
right
a
back,
question
guys.
here from Priyesh Patel on YouTube.
Be right back,
and they
guys. You
ask,
guys just
"Do
keep
ring-side
watching,
eclipses occur
watching
in
the
a
sun
similar
be
pattern
bitten away.
geographically?"
Ring of fire.
Absolutely.
Woohoo!
Geographically, we get the same sort of shape of an eclipse that will move slightly northward in its progression. So this is called the Saros cycle. And every 18 years or so, there's a repeated pattern of an eclipse, and the pattern itself repeats a little bit further north each time. And so we get these overlapping patterns that are exactly the same over time.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really surprising. Okay, and before I go on to my second question, I just want to mention that in the telescope view now, we are seeing a partial eclipse and a lot of bite out of the sun.
Oh yeah, it's getting a bit bigger. We're not quite to 50% yet, but yeah, it is getting there. It's pretty exciting.
That's so exciting. Okay, so the second question I have is Sammy Connor on YouTube, and they ask, how does the Ring of Fire eclipse affect the light from the sun reaching Earth?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question, because this has something to do with the science that we can do with eclipses as well. So as the sun gets blocked by the moon progressively, there are parts of the sun, active regions specifically, that will be blocked, and the light from the active regions won't be able to hit the Earth's atmosphere. So we can actually study the effects. We can actually study these effects. We'll hear a little bit more about this later in the program.
Amazing. Okay, so a third question is, one of our viewers on YouTube asks, how do eclipse glasses work?
Ooh, that's a great question.
So these things.
Yeah, we have eclipse glasses. Okay, so you see the lenses right here. This is a mylar film, and the coating on it blocks over 99% of the white light that comes here. Not only that, but it also blocks infrared and ultraviolet light, so it keeps your entire eye safe. So it's really that coating that keeps us safe from the powerful sun's light.
I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Of course.
So remember, wherever you're watching in the show, ask a question in the comments below using the hashtag AskNASA, and we'll be answering more later today. So now let's head back to Tahira and Gina in Kerrville, Texas.
Thank you, Joy and Michael. The weather looks great in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
It does, yeah.
So, folks, if you're just joining us, we're following the 2023 annular solar eclipse as it sweeps across the Americas. Now, coming up soon, James at our eclipse desk will be plugging us into our very first views of annularity taking place in Eugene, Oregon. Now, Gina, as we anticipate this beginning first moment, can you walk us through what exactly is happening when an annularity takes place?
Sure. So when the annularity is taking place, that's when the moon is going to be in front of the sun. Now, for the annular eclipse, it's not going to completely block the sun, so we'll have that ring of fire that we get to see in the sky. And if you take a look at that live feed from the telescope that we're seeing right now in Kerrville, we already have a bite taken out of the sun from our perspective as well.
Wow, and so that's just going to pass directly over, but not fully cover it.
Exactly. We'll still have that ring peeking out.
Beautiful. And I mean, we're seeing something, but will anything else happen? Like, will we feel anything?
Yeah, so that's the fun thing about these solar eclipses is the fact that there will be environmental changes. So we'll feel that temperature drop, maybe a change in humidity and wind as well, but also nature will respond. So check out, how it feels around you. The birds will nest and go back to their trees. The crickets will come out, starting to chirp. It'll feel kind of dramatic when this happens too.
Can't wait to feel that with you today. And folks,
great.
I mean, it's not just us here on Earth plugged into today's action. Emily Ferfaro with NASA Communications had a chance to chat with two astronauts aboard the International Space Station to learn more about the sun from their unique perspective off our planet.
Jasmine, Satoshi, this is so exciting to be talking with you. This is the coolest thing that I've ever done. As you know, all eyes are going to be on the sun on October 14th as we experience an annular solar eclipse. And so I'm wondering, have either of you ever seen a solar eclipse of any kind?
Emily, actually, coincidentally, my very first day at NASA was August 21st, 2017, which was an incredible solar eclipse. All my classmates and I got to go outside and stare up with everyone. Pretty much everyone else at NASA was outside in those moments looking at the solar eclipse. So that's something I'll always remember.
Wow, oh my gosh, what an incredible first day that must have been. Solar eclipse events provide scientists with a unique opportunity to study the sun in different ways. So with that, I'm wondering, how do you study space weather and impacts from the sun on the International Space Station?
Well, Emily, from the International Space Station, we have a really unique vantage point looking back at the Earth. But also there are several experiments actually mounted right outside here on the Japanese experiment facility outside of the GEM module.
Regarding the space weather, specifically from solar flare activities point of view, a specialists on the ground kindly observe it continuously, and when there is a big solar flare, they notifies it of us, and we move to a relatively safe place on the International Space Station.
Wow, I am so glad that you're well protected up there on the International Space Station. I want to touch back on the annular solar eclipse. This celestial event kickstarts NASA's Heliophysics Big Year, which is a global celebration of sun science and a year where we're inviting the public to do as many sun-related activities as possible. And so I'm wondering, what is your favorite thing about the sun?
Well, Emily, for me, I don't particularly like the dark, and I don't particularly like being cold. So I'm a big fan of the light and the warmth the sun brings. We wouldn't be the planet we are without the sun.
Yeah, Emily, I echo Jaws, and I like the brightness and the warmth of the sun, and I'm looking forward to the next solar eclipse.
That reminds me of something that my friends in heliophysics say, which is that the sun touches everything. With that, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today about the sun, and I hope that you both have a great view of the eclipse wherever you might be, and good luck with the rest of your mission.
Thanks so much, Emily. Have a good one.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you.
I mean, how cool is that? Can you imagine seeing the shadow of an eclipse on Earth from space? It would just have to be incredible. Now, folks, the crowd is growing here in Kerrville, Texas, as we inch closer to our moment to witness that Ring of Fire effect in person. Now, it's a good time to check in with James at our Eclipse desk. James, how are things looking on your end?
Hey, Tahir, yes, so we're still just a little bit away from the annularity here in Kerrville, Texas. Really cool to see the science going on in the International Space Station. Coincidentally, there's actually some really cool science going on just a little bit to the west of us in just a few moments in White Sands, New Mexico. And right now I'm actually joined by scientist Jamie Favors, who can walk us through exactly what we're about to see with this sounding rocket launch. Jamie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, James.
Yeah, so is this your first annular eclipse?
It is, yeah, and first time launching rockets into an eclipse too, so.
Amazing, and we're about to have the first of 3 launches. I understand we're kind of timing these launches out to specific times here, right?
Yeah, so you're exactly right. So we'll have 3 launches during the eclipse, about 35 minutes before the peak. That'll be this first one, right in the middle of the peak, and then 35 minutes after the peak. Studying that upper atmosphere, the ionosphere, kind of see what are those impacts from the sun that really change, important features of the upper atmosphere that impact things like radio communications, satellite operations. Yeah.
And we just had a launch yesterday in Cape Canaveral, Florida, of our Psyche mission. That's going out into deep space, but these rockets, which just launched actually here,
Perfect.
this is just took off, so this is actually going to come back down afterwards. Right?
That's right. So we're seeing first stage burnout here, about 6 seconds in. Blink out for a second, so the rocket's still moving along. There we see the rail, the pad that we just launched from. So as we're launching into space, we're going to start making measurements roughly about a minute into launch, so we're a few seconds in now. I bet we're getting pretty close to the second stage lighting off at this point to take us all the way into space. So roughly that 1 minute mark is where we start to do a lot of the science.
Oh.
The payload separates from the rocket. We have some deployables we'll release from that payload out at that point. We'll start moving that payload around in space so that it's starting to make good measurements. We have these booms or arms that come off of the payload, start making different measurements there of like magnetic structures, electric structures in the upper atmosphere, as well as temperature and density. One way to kind of think about this, what the shadow of the eclipse is doing in that upper atmosphere is it's creating these waves as all those temperature and density changes are occurring. So kind of think about it in the way of like a boat moving through the water.
Yeah.
We've all seen a boat move and you see the waves propagating out from it or moving away from the boat. That same thing is happening here with the eclipse and that shadow. So with those 3 rockets, we're launching one right before the boat moves through,
Yeah, exactly.
one right in the middle of the boat coming by, and then one right after the boat moves through, or the eclipse shadow.
Sweet. And so we are just now a couple minutes away from actually getting annularity here in Kerrville, Texas. Our first view is actually going to be up in the Pacific Northwest, up in Eugene, Oregon. They are going to be experiencing this starting at around 9:17 local time. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck for the next 2 launches.
Yeah, thank you so much, James.
Back to you, Tahira.
Wow, I mean, if the day wasn't exciting enough, now we've got a rocket launch in the mix. This is
so exciting.
It's incredible. And I mean, what a NASA broadcast, right? And so thank you, James and Jamie. Now, Gina, we have a lot of great questions rolling in from our viewers online. How do you feel about taking a few?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So our first question is from Entertainment on Facebook, who asks, how often do eclipses happen?
Great question. Well, thank you for that. So there are actually eclipse seasons. And so we can get eclipses about 2 to 3 times a year. You might expect them to happen every time there's a new moon, but that's not the case because the orbit of the moon is tilted by about 5 degrees, which means sometimes the shadow is a little too high and it doesn't hit Earth, and sometimes a little too low. So we need those eclipse seasons as that sweet spot.
Okay, nice. And so I actually have a really great follow-up to that. Okay. Spectacular Science podcast on YouTube asks, how do you predict solar eclipses then?
Okay, well, it's actually pretty straightforward how to calculate the eclipses because we have a good understanding of the moon's orbit. We have a good understanding of the Earth's orbit and how that whole system is connected. And so we kind of take the geometry and the inputs that we have, and we're able to pretty accurately predict those eclipses. And so these are things that we can look out decades in advance to understand when eclipses can occur.
Oh, cool. And so how often would an eclipse pass in the same city? Do you know?
Well, so for total solar eclipses, it's very unique for an eclipse to pass more than, it's about once every 375 years that a location can experience it. So it's pretty hard to be in the same spot to see a total solar eclipse more than once.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a user on X who asks, will the International Space Station photobomb the eclipse? That would look very cool.
Yeah, and so we just got to hear from the International Space Station, and the unique thing about our astronauts on board is that they have a totally different vantage point for studying the eclipses, and they get to actually view the shadow of the moon as it passes over the Earth. And there are experiments that we have on board the space station as well. And so, with NASA, we have all of these different eclipse experiments that are taking place, and we try to take advantage of every perspective that we have.
Awesome. So we have a final question from Dante. This is going to be a quick one.
Okay.
But Dante on Facebook, who wants to know, will the moon block solar wind along its path during this Ring of Fire eclipse?
Oh, I love that question. So the solar wind is actually a stream of charged particles that's constantly coming off of the sun, and it interacts with the Earth and other planets in our solar system. Now, the Earth's magnetic field actually blocks a majority of those particles from interacting with Earth. Some are able to get through and interact with our upper atmosphere, but for the sake of the eclipse, most of the particles will still kind of be able to be deflected around the Earth's magnetic field. There will be some that are able to interact with the moon, but it wouldn't have a huge impact on what we experience at Earth.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gina. And thank you to everybody sending in these questions online. We will get to some more of what you want to know by later on in the show. So keep sending those questions in using the hashtag #AskNASA. Now let's check in with Joy and Michael to see what's new in Albuquerque. Joy, how's it going?
Thanks to her and Gina. So we're just under 30 minutes away from annularity in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Michael, shall we put on our glasses to see what the sun and moon are doing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so you're seeing a deep partial solar eclipse. More than half of the sun is blocked out, and so you just see a crescent of sunlight peeking out.
Wow, that is amazing. Annularity is just going to be stunning. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait either. This is terribly exciting. You can see a balloon inflating behind us. We have annularity coming. It is all coming together today.
I just can't believe that an annular eclipse is happening at the same time as the fiesta.
It really feels special, doesn't it?
And actually, earlier this week, I even got to fly in a hot air balloon, which is just amazing.
That's fantastic.
I met an amazing balloon pilot, Jonathan Wolf, who's been launching balloons in Albuquerque for decades. So let's take a look at our ride. So for complete newbies, how does a hot air balloon work?
It's a great question. It's physics, simply. We heat up the air inside the balloon, and that makes it less dense, and then that makes it float. Now, what that means, though, is we can only control up and down. The way we fly and the way we navigate is by choosing different layers of air to fly in.
And I've heard that there is a box, the Albuquerque box. Could you explain what that means?
Certainly. It's one of the reasons why Albuquerque is a famous place for ballooning. Sometimes what happens is at a higher elevation, the wind is going to the north, and at the surface, it's going to the south. That's what we call the Albuquerque box. Sometimes the box works out such that you can fly to the south and go up, fly to the north, and then come down and fly back south and land right where you took off, which is an extraordinary and wonderful accomplishment. It's super fun when you can do that.
So for someone who's never been in a balloon, what is it like?
It's unlike any other form of flying. In a balloon, you're actually outside, right? You're standing in a little basket, and there's no windows. You're just out there in the air, and it's just science, right? It's buoyancy, like I said, it's applied physics, but it feels like magic.
It's a ballooner eclipse.
Oh yeah!
I love that.
It's very calm. There's no movement, no wind. When you're moving with the wind, so you're at equilibrium. It feels very calm and peaceful. At the same time, it's really exciting and it's intense. So it's this wonderful combination of intensity and mellow, serene, tranquil beauty, absorbing nature. You can never experience that in any other form of flight.
Wow, that brings back great memories. And if you can hear the wind behind us, they're actually inflating the balloon I rode in just behind us, which is so cool.
So was that your first balloon ride?
It was my first balloon ride, yes.
Oh my goodness, how did it go? I remember taking one about 20 years ago and it was fantastic. What was your experience?
The most surprising thing is that when you're up there, you don't feel any wind against you,
right,
because you're actually moving with the wind, so it feels completely calm.
Oh, that's fantastic. So would you do it again? I found it terribly relaxing.
100%, yes. So it was actually also not that chilly, and we were only a few hundred feet off the ground as well.
Wow, that's amazing, because it's been chilly here all morning.
So as we learned earlier, NASA's scientific balloons fly much higher. They actually reach a part of our upper atmosphere where our International Space Station lives and where some of our satellites fly as well. So it's really important we learn about this upper region and how it could affect our lives on Earth. And NASA and NOAA are two agencies in the US that work together to help study this. And I'm joined with two people who can tell us more. So we have Dr. El-Sayed Talat from NOAA and Dr. Kelly Corrick from NASA. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Very excited to be here.
Very excited to be here. Thank you so much.
So let's start off with the basics. El-Sayed, what are those changes we see in that upper region?
Well, part of what we call space weather, which is the variable conditions on the sun, the Earth, and near Earth space due to solar and geomagnetic activity and storms. And that can affect human activity and our technological infrastructure.
Wow, fascinating. So, Kelly, how does space weather actually affect our life here on Earth?
Well, El-Sayed alluded to the fact that it challenges our technology. So our power grids are sensitive to those currents that can be induced by this, as well as our satellites could also be impacted by these flares or the space weather. And we get some beautiful things too. We get the aurora out of it.
Have you ever seen the aurora?
I have. It was absolutely beautiful. I laid on the ground for hours in the snow watching it.
So talking about space weather and the activity in our upper atmosphere, how do NOAA and NASA work together to better understand those phenomena? Let's start with, yeah.
NOAA is a go-to resource for space weather information. It watches the sun and the Earth 24/7, and it's the nation's official source of forecast warnings and alerts for space weather to help decision makers prevent and mitigate the effects of space weather here on Earth. And in order to do this, we need information, and NOAA works with NASA to design, develop, and deploy space weather operational satellites to safeguard our society.
And what's NASA's role?
So NASA is a partner with NOAA, and we focus on the science and make sure that we're understanding our star and can do better and better predictions. So scientists use models and the data from all of these satellites in order to better understand space weather.
And what are some of the biggest mysteries around space weather? What don't we know about it?
Oh, there's so much. I mean, let's start at the sun, right? That's the focus today. Even how to predict flares long term, or those large coronal mass ejections, those billions of tons of material that come off. We don't quite know how to predict them for a long term yet.
Well, I'm so glad we have two agencies on the case. Thank you both, Ilse and Kelly. Thank you both for joining us. So, did you know that space weather is also affected by solar eclipses? One citizen science project does experiments during the annular solar eclipse and the total solar eclipse. So, let's learn more about that project.
When the moon blocks the sun during a solar eclipse, there is a noticeable impact on Earth's upper atmosphere, known as the ionosphere. These changes can affect radio communications, including amateur radio, also known as ham radio.
Ham radio is a way you can talk to people all around the world. You set up a radio and antenna. You talk into the radio sends a signal up to the antenna sends the signal up to the sky. It bounces off of the electrified layer of the sky back down to Earth, where you can talk to the person on the other side.
During the 2023 annular eclipse and the 2024 total eclipse, the HAM-SCI Citizen Science Project is inviting ham radio operators to transmit radio signals. The goal is to have people make as many radio contacts as they can with operators in different locations during these celestial events. By recording how strong their radio signals are and how far they go, ham radio operators and scientists can learn about how the ionosphere changes during solar eclipses.
Sometimes you can talk around the world, and sometimes you can't. And that's all based on what the ionosphere is doing, what the sun is doing. When it works and you are able to talk to these faraway places, I find that really magical.
To learn how you can participate, follow Do NASA Science on X and Facebook.
There are currently ham-SCI experiments happening right now across the country, and there'll be more during the total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024. If you want to learn how to participate, go to hamsci.org. So next, we're thrilled to be joined with the acting director of NASA's Heliophysics Division, Peg Luce. Peg, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's such a pleasure.
So, how are you feeling about the annular eclipse today?
Wow, it's happening, and we've been looking forward to this for so long. These are a rare celestial event that people can actually experience the effects of, so it's really exciting.
I'm so excited.
I am too.
So we've been chatting about the sun all morning, but can you tell us in detail what heliophysics is?
That is a good question. Many people ask. Heliophysics is actually a word that isn't yet in the dictionary, so we want to put it there. But helio is the sun. Physics, the science of matter and energy and how they interact. So we study the sun, how it works, how its energy flows out and affects all the planets, creates the solar system. And it's a very complex field and very exciting to study.
So we heard earlier that the sun touches everything. Can you describe a little bit about how the sun touches other NASA science disciplines?
Yes. So we like to say that heliophysics is really the science that interfaces and collaborates with all of the other areas of science that NASA studies. For instance, the sun is a star. And it's the only star that we can actually study up close. So for our astrophysics friends, we can learn in detail how our star looks, how it changes, how dynamic it is. So when they're using their tools like James Webb Space Telescope to study distant stars, they have up-close information from what we have learned. And then, of course, the sun's energy flows around all of the planets. It interacts with the Earth. space weather affects the atmosphere of the Earth, and so it really is a collaborative and exciting field of study.
I love that the sun touches everything at NASA. So how does NASA touch everything we have here on Earth?
So I like to take this opportunity to remind people about NASA science. So when most people, when they think of NASA, they think of astronauts and human spaceflight, which is, of course, so exciting, but NASA science is rewriting the textbooks all the time. We have so many discoveries and just so much. We have a Parker Solar Probe that is flying through the corona of the sun. We have the Voyagers that are outside the heliosphere. We have so much to learn that I could never even begin to talk about it, but I want to invite people to go to NASA at Home and check it out. You'll get just a little bit of more information about all that NASA science does.
It's an exciting time for NASA science.
It really is.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Peg.
Thank you.
So now let's head back to the eclipse desk in Kerrville, Texas, where they're about to start tracking the start of the annular eclipse across the United States.
Thank you, Joy, Michael, and Peg. And Joy, you are absolutely right. Folks, we are moments away from the start of today's annular eclipse in Oregon. Now, I know I'm excited. This will be the first time I've ever witnessed one of these events, and I hope you are too.
It'll be my first annular eclipse as well. But Tahira, I was lucky enough to see the 2017 total solar eclipse, and that experience was amazing. So I think we're in for a treat today.
So this is going to be a totally new experience for you.
It will be, yeah.
And so, Gina, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and see if we can pull up the telescope feed from our friends at Time and Date. Wow.
Look at that. San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. We've got a live view of San Diego, California right now. What a beautiful partial eclipse.
Yeah, I mean the sun, it's a crescent. Normally we refer to the moon as a crescent moon, but this time it's the sun.
And I mean, normally we see, you know, the sun in the sky, the moon in the sky. Occasionally they might be together, but to see them overlapping, it really reminds you that we're a part of this just entire system.
I know.
And so
interplaying together, right? And you can tell, I mean, from this view, you can really appreciate the fact that from our perspective, the moon and the sun seem to look like they're the same size, even though in reality they're not, right?
It's incredible. You know what? Right now, let's go ahead and check in with James at our eclipse desk. James, what's the latest?
Yeah, hey Tahira, so we have officially kicked off annularity here in the United States. If we look at our Eclipse Explorer, you can see that the area of effect of that annular eclipse has now hit Eugene, Oregon. They should have a phenomenal view there. And just a reminder to all of our viewers who are in that region, the Pacific Northwest, be sure to use your eclipse glasses as you're looking at the sun and the moon above. You should have a beautiful sight at this moment. That's going to last for just a couple minutes, so really take advantage of that big moment. You just saw that view in San Diego. Even if you're outside of this area, you might still have a beautiful view of a partial eclipse. And if I zoom in onto our little area of annularity, you'll notice kind of a couple little bumps and things here, which you might initially think is because it's low resolution. Maybe it's a little bit, low res here, but the inverse is actually true. We actually have an incredible amount of data feeding into our Eclipse Explorer to generate the images and the predictions that you're seeing on your screen. This tool takes into account two unique things. One is obviously the topography of Earth, so mountains, river valleys, all kinds of little divots and things as that shadow moves across the land. But also, and really interestingly, it takes into account the shape of the moon. When you think of the moon, you might just think it's perfectly circular, but there are so many little objects like mountains and craters and all kinds of things dotting the surface that are all being fed into this prediction that you're seeing here that will then show you exactly what the shadow is going to look like. You won't really be able to see this difference from the ground, but if you're up in space looking down at this, you'll actually be able to see that area kind of ripple almost as it's moving across the terrain. So definitely I encourage you to check out this tool. It's a really phenomenal one that's really just using so much data to feed into this. And again, even if you're outside of this area, I encourage you to use our tool to kind of predict what you're going to see. So if I scroll all the way over to the East Coast and I zoom all the way out here, you can just see just how large this area of partial eclipse is. This kind of outer circle that you see here is areas that might be having a partial eclipse. So if I click on, for example, Philadelphia, I know quite a few people watching there. It looks like it might be a little bit rainy, but if the sky clears up for you, you'll have a peak coverage for your partial eclipse at around 1:21 local time. So still plenty of time for you to get your glasses ready in order, get your pinhole projectors created. You had that instructions earlier in the broadcast, and really just take advantage of this incredible celestial moment. These don't really happen very often. So it's a really unique experience to be able to witness this live from here in Kerrville, Texas. Just a few moments, we'll actually be able to have that view from right here. I can hear the crowd already kind of buzzing. People have all their glasses ready to go, already kind of looking up and observing that partial eclipse. You just saw the coverage in San Diego. This is really sweeping across such a big area of the United States, and it's going to continue to move closer and closer and closer to us. You can see already since I've just started this conversation here, we've already moved away from Eugene, so they are no longer in annularity, and this is continuing to move into parts of Nevada. This will then continue to track further southeast to our friends out in Albuquerque at the Balloon Festival. They'll have a phenomenal view there, intermixed with the balloons and everything. It'll look awesome. And you're also seeing right now our live view of Kerrville, Texas. You can see we're already in pretty good coverage here with the partial eclipse. If I click on Kerrville on our interactive map, you can see that we're expecting our peak coverage of the annularity to begin at 11:50. And I'll remind you again, if you're using our interactive tool, these are all clickable too. So if you wanted to click onto those and to see exactly what time and exactly what it's going to look like, actually, this is a prediction of what it's going to look like in your neck of the woods. And so actually, the path you're seeing this moon taking is the exact path it's going to look like the moon's taking in real life for you. So that little googly eye is showing that directionality. So for us, the moon has already entered in from kind of above the sun here. It's going to continue tracking down, eventually giving us that incredible ring of fire effect. I can't wait to see this live. This will be the first time for me ever seeing an annularity live. I'm super excited. So the hit is coming up again in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In just a little bit, they'll get a phenomenal view there. Keep tracking it. But for now, back to you, Tahira.
Incredible, James. And I mean, I think earlier you said buzzing. Like, Gina, it feels like the town is coming alive.
It is.
It's starting to get a little colder here.
I know, I'm kind of chilly.
So,
I mean, looking around, you can just see people are kind of lounging back with their safety eclipse glasses and just taking it all in and getting excited for this.
And not only will Kerrville see today's annular eclipse, they're also positioned to see the total solar eclipse next year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how awesome is that? And so, folks, let's take a look at how the city has been preparing in the lead up to these special events.
Kerrville is the eclipse capital of the state of Texas. It is known as being the capital of the Texas Hill Country. It's the epitome of Texas. Ranches, deer, beautiful streams like the Guadalupe here.
Kerrville is very welcoming.
It's a wonderful community.
Tight-knit, small.
It has about 25,000 people.
Kerrville is blessed to be in that special square. Not only are we going to witness the annular eclipse in 2023, we're also going to witness the total solar eclipse in 2024.
We're talking about crossroads, you know, we get it twice.
Two eclipses is coming right here, right where I stand. Well, it's statistically extraordinary.
We get two in less than 6 months.
Everybody's excited about it. City council, county commissioners, everybody's working diligently to be able to provide safe opportunity for the influx of people.
This will be the biggest event in the history of the city, and that's why the city is preparing. We're preparing to make the event enjoyable for everybody who wants to see this tremendous natural phenomena.
I think that Kerrville has done an awesome job of preparing, way in advance.
It's getting that message out to people to make sure that they're taken care of personally, but then there's the science part of it, letting them know what is an eclipse.
And I'm just having a great time going out and talking to civic organizations and clubs and to talk about eclipses. So this will be my 4th and 5th solar eclipses.
I've seen total eclipse in Nebraska. I drove 1,200 miles for a little over 2 minutes, and it was well worth it.
And just couldn't believe the experience of the eclipse. I mean, it literally gives me goosebumps every time I talk about it. It's a visceral, emotional experience that is just, you have to experience it to understand.
I thought I knew what it would be like, but I gasped at the sheer wonder.
It's going to be you're going to hear that intake of air and awe.
It was the most beautiful natural thing I've ever seen. So to have an eclipse basically in my backyard is just, it's indescribable.
as you can see, the town is alive, preparing for these spectacular moments. Now, Gina, the sun not only impacts us here on Earth, right?
That's right, Tahira. So the sun impacts our entire solar system. And in fact, when we explore with NASA, that's something that we have to take into consideration.
So I'm glad you said exploring, because I actually just recently learned that the sun even impacts human exploration in the solar system, which I thought was really cool. So let's take a second and see how studying heliophysics is actually helping us prepare for sending humans to the moon and Mars under our Artemis program.
NASA has studied the sun and its influence throughout our solar system for decades. The Artemis program will provide a better understanding of solar activity through 2 new missions. Hermes is an instrument package that will monitor space weather from the moon and be placed on NASA's Gateway, an orbital outpost being through 2 new missions.
Closely enough, you can really see the moon just kind of overtaking the sun.
Oh, the moon is a crescent, bro. The moon is a crescent. Oh my gosh, the moon is a freaking crescent! Dude, the freaking moon is a crescent! The freaking sun is a crescent. Oh my gosh, bro! Wow, this is crazy. Woo! Oh my gosh, here we go! I don't want to look at Callie. Oh man, bro. Dude, I don't want to look at that. I want to look at Bluff. Yes! In Bluff! In Bluff, the Ring of Fire just started.
light. Like we could image.
It's not. No! I don't want to look at this. It's the solar eclipse. Yes, sir! The Ring of Fire! Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's the Ring of Fire. It's so beautiful. Oh. Oh. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Wow. Oh! That is incredible. Oh man, that is beautiful, dude. Oh, it's incredible. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness, dude. That is incredible. Won't pass by Georgia though. Oh well. It's beautiful. Incredible. Wow. That's crazy. I guess we saw the Ring of Fire.
Lucidchart helps our team see what works and build it faster.
We use Lucidchart to create.
Oh, here on NASA stream. On NASA stream, the Ring of Fire started. 3, 2, 1. It's the Ring of Fire!
Wow. We're in annularity. It is a gorgeous sight to behold.
Everyone is cheering. This is so amazing.
Woo!
Wow. This is amazing. You can hear people screaming in the background.
People are so excited. And
unfortunately, from my point of view,
safely, of course, and make sure you look at the shadows around you. Look at how the environment has changed. Just make note of this entire event.
Wow, bro.
Wow, this is so amazing. This really puts our planet in perspective with the whole solar system, you know?
It's truly spectacular. It's one of those natural phenomenon that I just feel so lucky to be here at this place at this time to be able to observe it.
Wow, bro. That is beautiful.
Wow, I'm just looking at a tiny pinhole below and I see a little ring, like a little spotlight. This is so cool.
You can see ringlets dotting everywhere around here. see
Michael.
people taking pictures of the ground.
How are you feeling, Michael?
Oh, this is spectacular. You know, we've been preparing for this event for so long to actually be in this moment and to be
Wow.
experiencing it live is just tremendous. Joy, how are you feeling?
I'm just in awe, you know, I can feel the
That's
temperature
beautiful,
drop,
bro.
and this ring of fire is actually feels so long.
Well, I'm gonna look at
It's just about
Steak
4
Stream.
minutes long, and it feels
We'll make a really, really awesome stream. Should we do that, guys? Should we do that? Creek. The stupid clouds covered it. I was
500.
Chuck! Go back to the eclipse, Chuck! Chuck! We need you to go back to the eclipse, Chuck.
I know we've got a lot of people tuning in.
Okay, we're gonna go to another stream. Sorry, Chuck. Oh, there it is. Okay.
wow, this is so amazing.
There it is!
This really puts our
That's what it was supposed to look like.
solar system, you know?
This is what it was supposed to look like, guys. This right here was what it was
that's sad.
supposed to be, but the stupid clouds covered it. I would have seen something that looked almost exactly like this. Dang, those stupid clouds. It's cool, right? It's cool, right? So you guys were able to see it, right? When I showed you my camera, it like worked, right? You guys saw it, right? Creek raid, guys. I don't think Creek raided. He did not. He did not raid me. Did you guys see it? There's another one. Hey, there's another one in April 2024, and I think I'm gonna travel and go see it. Reveal. Yeah, literally. Let's watch this. Let's watch this trailer. Oh my God, Alex is doing a face reveal. Yo, Ruben, thank you for the $2, my friend. Alex is doing a face reveal. Let's see this trailer. Oh my God. Okay, let's see this. This is Alex's face reveal trailer, guys.
Alex.
This is one of the friend guys. I've been hiding my face from you guys for years. I just logged onto the richest. This is one of the biggest robots in the game. Is friend guys. Another one. But I finally decided that it's time to reveal it to the world.
I like them 15, 14, 14. I like them 15, 14.
Oh, oops.
I like them 15, 14. I like. I like them 15, 14.
Maybe there. that's a straight dub. Swozina. I'm like 15, 14, 13.
I've been hiding my face from you guys for years.
I like 15, 14, 13.
I like them 15, 14.
I like 15, 14, 13.
Never really happens to me. That never has happened to me actually. Maybe it's your VP. I don't.
We're rating them, boys.
I've been hiding my face from you guys for years. I just logged onto the richest. This is one of the biggest robots in the game. It's a friend guy. Another one. But I finally decided that it's time to reveal it to the world.
I like them 15, 14.
Oh my gosh. Look at NASA stream.
Okay, so we have something to see here on X, who asks, am I seeing a couple of sunspots on the telescope feed?
Yes, so you are seeing some sunspots. As I look at the light, maybe not so much right now because the moon is blocking most of the sun, but when the moon wasn't covering as much of the sun, you could see some darker spots, some black spots here and there, and those in fact are sunspots.
I need your love. Ow! You belong right here, right by my side. Right by my side. You belong right here, right by my side. Right by my side. You belong right here, right by my side. Right by my side. You belong right here, right by my side.
Releasing, sadly to say, but for your fans, this is. Hello, YouTube fans! This is the last review of Power Rangers, and even though this is the very last season of the era, so sad to hear that apparently this is going to be my last review of Power Rangers until this last long hiatus year of 2024 of no Power Rangers releasing, sadly to say, but hopefully, fingers crossed, by 2025, they should have the reboot of Power Rangers set up. And I'm always going to be here every step of the way, and I'm not quitting. You know, ever since I did almost 3 years of doing Power Rangers content, ever since the first year of 2021, I've always been making videos for you guys, and I was about to someday that I'll become.
I've been hiding my face from you guys for years. I just logged onto the richest. This is one of the biggest robots in the game. It's a friend guy. Another one. But I finally decided that it's time to reveal it to the world.
I like them 15, 14.
Yo.
I like them 15, 14. I like them 15, 14.
Yo.
I like them 15, 14.
Alright, that's probably all space reveal. Let's play some, why does he have joins turned off? It's the ocean and a gangster's paradise. 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 I don't care about like 15, 14, 13. I don't care about like 15, 14, like 15, 14, like 15, 14, 13. No stand, no say, I said I live a gangster's paradise. No stand, no say, I said I live a gangster's paradise. Paradise. I don't care about like 15, 14, 13. What does the NASCAT say? What does the fox say? What does the fox say? I feel so. Oh, it was good, Gaurav. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Are you okay? Are you okay?
No. Anyways, how you doing?
Good. Gob, 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 gob.
Oh. Oh. Anyway, how you doing, bro?
Hi. Hi. Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
I'm live right now.
I know.
Join me.
Oh, I actually have to go. I'm going somewhere. Hey, ask me, Mama.
Well, that sucked very hard. Might as well just play some Legends of Speed. Or maybe Ninja Legends. I don't even know Ninja Legends is too hard. Yeah. Speed is my game after all. Woohoo! Actually, I'm just gonna go to outer space. Yep. Okay, second best. Oh my gosh, this guy has 2 million steps, 7 rebirths. 7 more hoops than him. But I don't care, bro. I like 15, 14, 13. I don't care, bro. I like 15, 14, 13. I like 15, 14, 13. 15, 14. I don't care, bro. I like 15, 14, 13. That's funny. Wee. think I could have glitched out of the map with that. Oh gosh, this guy's super tough. I hope they'll be able to beat him. The lead. Jump. Don't see Kizzy. Let's just go. What is that face, bro? Why is Roblox UGC so cursed? Nobody ever goes for these steps. Like everybody's trying to go for those 1,000 steps. Get more steps than that. Whee! Level up. Oh, now I'm highest. Ah! I think I'm better at Legends of Speed than Ninja Legends. I'm just taking it back to the old nostalgia zone. I used to play Legends of Speed and Ninja Legends all the time. But arguably I played Legends of Speed more. Woohoo! Let's make that a hoop. Ugh. Ah! Ugh. Yo, that was actually a perfect landing. Dude, I'm going to glitch out of the map with this. Like, if I get fast enough, I'm gonna try to glitch out of the map. Oh gosh, this guy's about to kill me. I'm gonna die. Swear. Oh man. Oh, it scared me. Ah! Being fast is scary. Woohoo! Oh, this guy's using the same strategy as me. It's pretty good, but nobody goes after the green. So I always go towards the green instead. Oh. 900 steps. I wanna go back. No, I don't wanna go back. This guy. Wow, I just didn't know what that was. Where? www. Every time I level up, I get this. Hopefully, I will get the first guy. I'm scared. A little mishap and I'll lose. Need for speed. Wee, yay. Dude, that was close. A very close finish. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not how you do it, bro. It's not how you count down, bro. Like, what? Woo! Level up, boys. 516. Oh my! Oh, I got out of the map! I went out of the map! Congratulations out of the behalf. That was so close. I'm gonna do my lucky jumps. Repair. Oh no, it's faster than me this time. Oh dang it, he just went right past me. Blazed by. I get third this time. But dang, what a finish. Charlotte actually beat me. I did make a little mistake, but hey, that was really cool. Dude, how do I do that glitch? It's not really. I don't even think it's glitch. It's like, I went through the hoop. Thank you, James. You know what? I could go for a red hoop. I could go for a red hoop right now. Just a quick little boost. Whoa. That's nice. Why can't I go through this dang hoop? Whatever. Okay, jumps. Please don't die. Is my regular path. Yes. Lucky jumps. Oh gosh. Gary. And my lung capacity. Oh. That's fun. Oh. I want to try to go side of the map again. Oh. Ugh. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Guess that's gonna be all for today.